And I understand that 22,000 isn't putting up like Call of Duty numbers, but that's not the comparison. The comparison is Gears versus Gears. And the fact that it's having this kind of performance, beating its own records, is showing that it has a lot of potential for what's to come. What's good, people? It's your boy Ramir, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the first episode of On Game. This is going to be a new format that I'm going to be testing and experimenting on the channel with. I'm just going to be talking over all the things circulating on the web, anything relating to gaming or entertainment or whatever you guys throw down there in the comments. So make sure you leave something down below. I might just make a video about it. So the Gears of War E-Day beta just wrapped up, and after actually getting to play it myself and stream it here on the channel, make sure you check out that video if you didn't get a chance to see the live stream. But I understand why people are starting to get excited for Gears of War again, and I'm pretty excited myself, right? The game definitely had its moments where it pissed me off, and you guys know there are some serious sweats in that game, right? Like some serious sweats in that game, but it's still past the vibe check, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this game some more, because it's capturing that same level of nostalgia that I felt back when I was a kid, when I booted up my Xbox 360 and I put in that disk drive to play Gears of War for the very first time. You hear that music come on, right? You hear that music, and then the intro starts to play. That is a different level of nostalgia that's difficult to capture, almost the same level of nostalgia for like Call of Duty Black Ops. And I didn't really have too many strong expectations of this game. I didn't know what to expect really. And if any of you guys have played Gears of War in the past, you will know that specifically the multiplayer is mad sweaty. And that's why usually most people will start with the campaign. And I will tell you this, you guys, Gears of War has maintained some of the craziest, fun, impactful campaigns that I've ever seen from a game house. And it's still hard to believe that the first 3 Gears of War games were made by Epic Games, right? I know a lot of you forget this, but Gears of War is actually was originally made by the same company that made Fortnite. That's wild to me. But when it comes to this beta, the one thing that immediately felt right was just the overall mechanics, right? The look, the feel, the style, the rolling, the running, everything was seamless, and I didn't experience one bug while playing the beta. That's actually a very large expectation when it comes to games these days that release betas or alphas or whatever for us to play before they release. And the one thing that I like is it doesn't feel like Gears is trying to be every other shooter. It feels like Gears is trying to stick to what they know. I like that they're going back to a very simple style, and I feel like the campaign in this game is going to be stellar, and I can't wait for it. So Games Radar recently released an article that says Gears of War E-Day's Steam player count has once again blown past the series' all-time peak, thanks to the beta's second week. And some of the key takeaways from this article were kind of surprising to me. So Gears of War E-Day hit 22,000 plus concurrent Steam players during the beta's second weekend, setting a new franchise high on Steam. And the first beta weekend was already around 18,000. So E-Day broke the Gears Steam record and then broke its own record again the following weekend from just the beta alone. So those numbers were well above the previous Steam peaks for Gears of War 5, Gears Tactics, and Gears of War Reloaded, right? And the article also cites an estimate of roughly 1.2 million Xbox players during the first beta stretch. So Steam is only part of the picture. We're talking about 1.2 million Xbox players playing Gears of War for the beta. This game is going to have a breakout year this year. And the only thing that could hurt it is GTA 6, but I digress. I think that this game is going to have a breakout year, and I think that it's going to be a nice game for people to kind of, transition off of when they want to take a break from GTA 6 and jump into some Gears of War and just have some run and gun fun, or just play a little bit of the campaign. So the bigger takeaway here is that there's clearly a renewed interest in Gears of War, and I'm here for it. Now, 22,000 isn't putting up Call of Duty numbers. I understand that, but that's not really the comparison that we're focusing on here. We're focusing on Gears versus Gears. And I completely understand. I feel like it's a detriment to Microsoft to not release this game on PlayStation. I know some of y'all like exclusivity. I really don't care. I really do not care about exclusivity. If you want to turn off crossplay, albeit turn off crossplay. And maybe Gears doesn't need some massive reinvention to stay in the limelight, right? Maybe people just really want to play a good Gears game again, and maybe that's just enough. So did you play the Gears of War E-Day beta? If you did, let it be known down in the comments. I want to know your experience with the game in the past, and I want to know what you think you're going to have the most fun with this new Gears of War title, and what you're most worried about, right? What are you most worried about with this game? And, ultimately, I'm not ready to say that the beta means Gears is back, right? We still have to get a chance to play some of the campaign to really know if this game is back, because that's, for me, is what's most important about Gears of War, is how good is the story, how good is the campaign. The multiplayer is an addition, and so long as they can make that strong to compensate that campaign, then I think we'll be in a good place with this year's Gears of War. So let me know down below how you feel about Gears of War. If you like today's video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you do all the things. It's your boy Rashad Amir, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'm out of here. Peace.